talking. Three black girls talking.
Hey y'all, I'm Margot Evans.
And I'm Rochelle Truby.
And it's your girl, Edwonda White. And we are Three Black Girls Talking. This is a show that has just been the gift that just keeps on giving. We're just three friends that have been knowing each other forever. And we started this little show last year in 2020. We just get on here and start talking because we missed each other during the pandemic. And look at us now. Don't forget to subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not subscribed before, go ahead and hit that bell and subscribe. Today, we're going to be talking about love and marriage, okay? Back in the day, remember when all women wanted to do was get married? Women used to go to college not to get their degree, but to find a husband. Remember back in the day?
MRS to get that.
Remember, some people used to go to, let's go to a good college so we can find a man, right? Find a man. But now we don't do that. We don't go through college. We're going to get our degree because we're trying to, we ain't trying to marry a doctor. We're trying to be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? So these young women today have a different idea of marriage. I'm married, and Rochelle's married, and Margot is probably contemplating marriage, and we do believe in it. But things have changed, and divorce rate is like over 70%. That's, 50% is half, which, that's bad enough. Now it's more people are getting divorced than staying married. So I'm going to go to Margot with this one. Margot, why do you think that marriage or the way people think of marriage or relationships is so different now than it was back in the day, like, with our parents?
You hit the nail on the head when you said back in the day we had to, as women, we had to, go out and seek our man, seek somebody that was going to be taking care of us and, making sure that they was bringing home the bacon, they used to say.
Literally.
But now we are, as women, bringing home the bacon, and we don't have to depend on a man to do that. We don't have to depend on a man to say, okay, here's the money, go grocery shopping, do this, do that. No, when we do come together, man and woman, we are equals, even, I'm not even putting money on it. We're equals. We're going to work together in order to just make this thing go right. So I'm a believer of marriage. I love the union of marriage. When you find that one, that I believe that you should be connected to that one. But until you find that one, dating is nothing wrong with that. If you want to date until, you might want to be an Oprah. Oprah not married, for her own reasons, whatever reason that is, she's not married. Stedman may be staying in another house on the land or something, but they're not married. They're not married, and they're happy. So, back in the day, like I said, that's what it was. But we are here in 2021, and you don't have to. A woman does not have to depend on a man, and vice versa. In some cases, we ain't talking about them. We talking about us anyway.
Right. Right. True. So Shelly, she was almost finished. Go ahead.
I'm just saying we don't have to worry about that. So we can be more selective. We can be more selective in the men or without the man that we want. So yeah, that's it.
So so Shelly, on this one, the original question was, why do you think that women in this society think so differently about marriage than back in the day, like in the traditional days of maybe our parents about marriage? Why do you think they think differently now?
I think that women are more go-getters and they're self-starters, and they're being successful on their own, going to college and so forth. But honestly, most of the women that I talk to, they want to get married, especially when they hit that 35 to 40 year mark, or especially when they get in their 30s, because they want to have children and they don't want to wait too long to have children. So by the time they start to get into their mid 30s, they're starting to, quote unquote, I would say, I don't know, I shouldn't use the word desperate, but they want to get married. You know, they want to have families. These days and age, it's better to buy two, you know, to have two people in the home as far as helping each other out with bills and support, and you know, not being out there like that. So I have a lot of young friends that are single right now, and that's all I hear them saying. I have people my age that are single, and they say, you know, they want to get married. They want to have that friendship. They want to have the partnership. They want to have combined financial incomes, you know, because it's hard out there being single. I don't care how much money you make. You can make six figures, but it's easier to live life if you have another income coming in, because the thing is especially living in California, it's costing. Now, if you have six figures and you living in Texas or Georgia um, or
Right.
yeah, Nevada or something like that, then I mean you're gonna be balling out of control, making what you make in California out there, and you'll be able to buy with the money you have, you could buy you two or three houses in somewhere else in another states like Arkansas or Missouri or something like that. But in California, you know, it's expensive in California. People
Yeah, it
can't
is.
afford having buying a house. I mean, even just a regular 3 bedroom, 2 bath house is going for 700,000 plus if you want to live in the city.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I do hear a lot of women say, but mainly I think women want to get married because of the companionship. They're tired of being out there, you know, hitting those dead end relationships where men are not wanting to be committed, and so they want something more solid. They want a solid relationship, and so there are women out there that probably, you know, really don't want to get married right now. I've known of women that just will date married men because they don't want to have a commitment. They just want to be able to.
I know some too. That's all they want to do. It's
Right,
easier because they want to get the good part of the man. They don't want to deal with all that frustration of who can't pay the bills or who
right.
didn't take the trash out or nothing like that. Just take me to dinner, buy me some stuff. Let's do what we're gonna
Pay
do.
my
And we
bills
go
and stuff. Right,
home. Yeah, I know
right.
a lot of my friends are that way too. Now, I want to go into what you were saying. I'm gonna let you continue, Shelly, but I'm gonna add this to it. Now, we all agree that there are women who want to be married, but then also we also agree that the reason for getting married now is different than from back then. And that was
Exactly.
the point we were saying. Like back in the day, women used to get married or try to find a husband because they needed someone to take care of them. Not necessarily now. Women, a lot of us, we have our own houses, we have our own cars, we have decent credit or good credit to qualify for things. So yours was more of a situation of companionship. I want to address this to Margot first, and then Shelly, you think about this. Do you think there's a stigma or a pressure for women that are single to have someone? Do you think society be like, oh, do you have a boyfriend? No. Do you have a, are you married? No. Oh, like, oh, there's something wrong with you because, whereas there's some women who is like, I like being single, you know? Me, I'm married. I love being married. But I'm old school, you know what I'm saying? I love being married. I love the husband that I have. I love the companionship. I love doing things together as a unit. My parents were married for, 55 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of, I guess, upbringing or how you see it. Margot, I'm gonna go to you. Is there a stigma? Is there a pressure for women who are single to have somebody, even if they don't want anybody at all?
I think it used to be. I think it used to be back in the day, it used to be a bigger stigma than it is now. I know like right now, there are a lot of single women and people are not like pressuring, like people don't pressure me to say, oh, when you getting married, why you not with, I'm with somebody right now. Why you guys not getting married? Like I don't hear that as much as I used to when I was getting married, when I got married the first time and I was 23 years old. I heard it like, when are you getting married? When are you having a baby? It was more of it, but now
Your butt is old now.
Right,
they don't
right.
like whatever.
Been there, done that. Ain't think about you now.
Right. Anyway,
Right.
on with all that.
I hope you don't have a wedding, so you won't have to come to another wedding. No.
Right. We already know y'all together. Just get the paper, make it
Right.
official.
And it is what it is. But I don't hear or feel that pressure now in these days and age. I don't feel that pressure. People just I'll be like accidentally saying my husband. They be like, oh, he have a husband anyway. So to people, people already just put him as my husband. But I don't get that stigma anymore of when are you getting married. I'm way beyond childbearing years, so that question has been long and gone. They're not asking me when I'm having kids, and I don't want any. I love the kids, but I don't need any.
It seems like women under 35, they just want a boyfriend. And then women over 35, they feel like because their other friends are married, that they should have a husband too, and that it makes them seem more grown or mature to be like, oh, and my husband, right? But I don't, there are some women who have been single and they date different people. They go where they want to go and do what they want to do, and they like it like that. But like I say, some girl, even high school girls, they feel like if they don't have a boyfriend, it's something wrong with them. So go back to the question, Rochelle. Do you think there's a stigma or a pressure for women who are single and unattached, also unmarried, and also don't have a boyfriend?
Okay, so it's a twofold for me. So the first one is, um, I watch a lot of those Christmas movies, and
Me
so
too.
they're always about the girl having to go home and they don't have a husband. So I don't know if you saw Holiday.
I
Um,
did.
that was a good movie. So
It was.
actually, they like rented. She like borrowed a guy so for every holiday, so she didn't have to hear her family say, "Oh, where's your boyfriend at?" And so that part was.
Yeah.
I've seen quite a few movies like that, so
Hmm.
I think that there's some truth to that. That there is a stigma on that because it was funny. Remember, she was sitting at the kids' table because
She
she
ain't
was
got
single.
nobody. She's sitting over there with the kids while everybody else dancing. Yeah,
So
she's just so ashamed.
so I think there
Right.
is a stigma because then you're always going to be the fifth wheel, and then people are like, oh well, um, Sally's coming, but she won't be bringing anybody or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's always, I think there is like that. But then on the flip side of it, like to your point, there's a lot of women that like to be single. They don't want to be bothered with nobody telling them what to do. They want to be able to go freely. They want to date whoever they want to and stuff like that. But I have seen some women that are like that. They get to this certain point, they get that baby itch, where they want to have a baby. So either they try to get a man so that they can have a child, or they may have frozen their eggs or something like that, or they just want to be with somebody so that they can somewhat have a family. But for the most part, there are women out there, they love being single. It's a sense of freedom for them. They don't have to answer to anybody. They're just responsible for themselves. They live alone. They go out. They do things. But I feel like sometimes they do feel a little bit lonely sometimes, and they do probably wish for that. And then I mean, I've had friends that were single like that, and they're always been by themselves, but they're people assume that they're gay. People gonna assume that they're gay because, oh, they never had a boyfriend. You don't see them with anybody and stuff like that, but they just really truly enjoy being by themselves. I mean, they do date
Yeah.
men, but they just like to be by themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some what do they say? I'm not lonely, but I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. They just want to be able to. And sometimes, honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Sometimes I like being by myself, even though I love being with my husband and stuff like that. But every now and again, it's a beautiful thing to come home and I say, oh, nobody's at home. You get to do whatever you want. You don't have to hear nobody calling your name a million and one times. It's like sometimes it is, but I don't want to be like that every day. Um, I do,
Right.
right? I do enjoy having the companionship, and stuff like that. But it is nice to be by yourself sometimes too. So I can see where people do want to be, because honestly, I think that if me and my husband don't make it, I don't know if I'll ever get married again.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't think I'm gonna get married again. I think I'll just
I didn't say for
stay
me.
single,
Yeah.
because yeah, because when you get older and stuff, you get set in your ways, and then it's like you don't want to have to start all over again. It kind of gets annoying and stuff. So I mean, you basically know how he is, and he knows how you are. Like, we know each other. We know how each other are, what our likes and our dislikes are, and things like that. And then to have to learn about somebody all over again and stuff like that, I'm not saying I'm not going to date, but I don't think that I'll get married again. And I never thought that I would ever say that, because I am a type of person that loves being married and loves having somebody, around. But honestly, I don't think I would. I don't know. I just I would have to see. But yeah, I think it's twofold. Some people choose to not to be single, but it is funny when, like, those movies where the people, they always get on them like, oh, what, are you going to bring somebody home and stuff? And people get tired of hearing that. I'm sure, Margot, you probably got tired of hearing that all the time. Like, oh, when are you going to get married? And when you guys going to have kids and stuff, and stuff like that. It kind of gets a little bit irritating. So,
Yeah, I don't know if it's more of an issue in like a white environment where they have the pressure of, let me just hire some guy to take to my sister's wedding so that nobody will say, oh, you're single and your sister's getting married, to make it seem like you're less than. But in
right,
a black family, people don't really care or trip off of that. Now, like you said, and since you brought it up, we're gonna bring up the LGBTQ community, because you said that when a woman is not having nobody around, they automatically think that the person is gay or whatever. And so, okay, you might be a gay person that's in a relationship with the same sex person, and you still hiding your relationship because you might have a negative stigma on you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
the black mamas sometimes they trip like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm married to a man, I'm hetero, you're married to a man, you're hetero, and she's with a man or whatever. But we have friends that have women that are girlfriends too. And that's why the divorce rate is 70%, because I forgot that once the gay community could also get married, they're also getting divorced too. So the number went higher. You know what I mean?
right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? They go through what we go through,
Mhm,
they arguing and saying this ain't working either, right? So
mhm.
that's why it's more marriages being had and it's more divorces. But the whole thing is, I think that our reasons for getting married have changed because of the economy. Back in the day when we was, barefoot and pregnant in the house, and we wanted to try to find a man, and if you were a certain age and nobody picked you, or nobody came to ask your father for your hand in marriage, then you was considered an old maid or ugly or whatever.
Oh,
You was
man.
they call you
Right.
an old maid. I don't know how old you had to be. Maybe you was like only 20 years old. You was
Yeah,
an
that's an
old
old
maid
maid.
because somebody would have picked you. Them old men used to get them old 13 and 15-year-old girls. You know what I'm saying? Come over there talking about, I'll give you a cow and some chickens
Right.
or something. And you think I'm playing back in the day, and give their whole daughter to this
Right.
dirty old
Send some
man.
power, some chicken.
Some chickens, girl. They used to call some chickens, girl. Some chickens and some cows.
Oh my goodness, that's
And the
funny.
father, they used to call that, is it a dowry? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
How's the dowry? For,
Mhm.
you want to marry my daughter, what you got to bring to the table? I got
Right.
3 chickens, I got 4 cows and a pig. Oh, we done came up. So now your other kids who younger than your oldest daughter can eat because you had a daughter to give him. So
Mhm.
now he take your daughter, take care of your daughter. You eating off the fat of the land because your daughter was pretty enough to get somebody who had 3 cows. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So then that's why they always try to pawn the ugly daughter off on somebody. Because you
Like
know what I mean?
like
They're like, hey,
Celie.
we gotta get rid of this. Like on the
Celie from the color purple.
yeah. Yeah, because Natty was gonna get somebody. Everybody
Right,
wanted Natty, but then Celia is like, well, you can have her. You know what I'm saying?
right.
She look good. She can do this and that. Go on, take her. She the oldest one, so she gotta go first. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But these days, a lot of women don't even take the man's name. They have their more independence. You know what I'm saying? I use my maiden name. I still use,
I use mine
Edwonda
too.
White, and you use yours too. For professional reasons or whatever the case may be. And we have more.
Mine was lazy.
Oh yeah, you didn't
like
want to
changing
change
it.
it. I know. It's I know,
It's
right?
a hassle.
It's a hassle.
Yeah.
And so when we take charge of our lives and make our decisions on what we want to do, when a guy comes into our life, it's not like, oh, the man's going to change our life over. We make choices of, do we want this man in our life? It's not, do we need him? Like, ooh, if I don't get married by the time I'm 25, I don't know what I'm going to do. Huh? I know what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're gonna do. Okay. If I want you in my life, it's to enhance my life,
Right.
not to be, save me or be, rescue me like Prince Charming. When we were raised up, we were raised on that stuff of, oh, you want to meet the prince and the prince take you away and all this stuff. That stuff never existed. Cinderella and Prince Charming is not coming. Okay, for all of y'all, he ain't coming. Ain't no Prince Charming. So you love this man, you want to be with this man, you build something together, you have something in common, then you got something going on. But when you marry for anything other than love or whatever, then you get what you get.
Right.
If you want to marry an NBA player and you want to have a baby by him so you can get you a check, then hey, let that be the goal if that's what you want it to be. But that's what it's gonna be. That you the baby mama, and there's a lot that goes with that. You want to find love, then you got to date, you got to find somebody else. Now, on closing thoughts on this, what can you say to young women today, Rochelle, if they're going to choose a good mate? What would you say that they should look for?
When choosing a good mate, a woman should look for somebody that they're compatible with, that they have the same likes and goals. They should also find out what their credit score is, I believe, because you do not want somebody to have a bad credit score. I'm sorry, it is what it is. They don't have to
message you up.
Yeah, they don't have to be balling out of control. I mean, at least you guys will be equal financially. You have same goals and so forth. Because I believe that if you start off young, like if you're 25 and the husband is 28, they can build and grow together. But they have to have a goal. Like you don't have to marry a lawyer or a doctor or somebody that's real professional, but at least marry someone that has some type of skill, that they have a good job, they're stable, they want to take care of their family and so forth, that has a kind heart, that loves the Lord, put God first in the family. You got to make sure that, because it is true, a family that prays together stays together. That's real, So I do believe that that will help build a foundation on a family. So when you're looking, you have to look into these things. Make sure that the man is healthy. Has a. I mean, we may get sick later down the line, but you want to make sure that this man, is pretty much healthy. You don't want to just be with anybody because people have like a lot of diseases, especially like STDs, and they don't even tell people. So you got to double check and make sure that they have that right when you first start dating someone, So it's a lot of things that you need to look at, but I'll say the top three. Make sure he's a God-fearing man. His credit is good, and he's a family and loving man. Those are the three things that you need to look for. He's family-orientated, God-fearing, and good credit. What you say, Margot?
You know what? If I could tell my 23-year-old me, because I got my first marriage, I was married at 23, I would say to her, don't do it. You're not going to have any kids.
Yeah, but I love your first marriage, so I ain't going to say that. I love him.
And I did, but if I could,
I know, but I still.
If my 48-year-old me would have came and told me at 23, I would have probably not married that person, because I'm not going to I'm not going to have any children. I don't have any children right now, so it was not the point of you're this certain age, so you gotta get married so you can have babies. That's not gonna happen. Okay, so you can wait, and you can hold out, and you can do some things that you want to do in your life, like do your comedy career at 23. Start early. Right. And start doing the things that you really enjoy to do. And what I enjoy doing is not a 9 to 5. So
But Margot, I love you. I'm sorry to cut you off, Margot, but Margot, I love your life though. I mean, it may not have been the best destination for you, but the things that you've done, look, you got your master's degree, you
no,
know.
I didn't take all that back. I wouldn't do
I
all
know,
that.
I know you. I mean, I know who you was married to, and I love him, and he was a good person. I mean, I know there's some things that went on, and I'm not gonna go there with that. But I mean, it somewhat made you a better person too, coming out of that. You know, you learned a lot from that. But I understand what you're saying, Margot. But I love your life.
Look,
I love your life.
I did what I did with what I had, but had I known that going in, I wouldn't have made the same choice.
I know,
Right.
I know.
Okay.
But I still love your life, Margot. I love everything about you, from A to Z.
Look, I know how to flip it up and rub it and remix some shit and make sure that I feel good.
You feel
But
me?
look at
That's
the
what you
star
gotta
you are now.
do.
But look at the star you are now, though. I mean, you're
Because of that,
shining bright.
I am who I am.
Right.
But if I could have told me 23 years ago, I would have been a brighter star.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
still not negating that fact. You're gonna still keep with that. I'm like, no.
My star would have been shining. What you say?
Right. Yeah, Margot, and Rochelle, that was really good advice. And it's going to help somebody who's listening, because if I knew then what I know now, I would have been a different young lady. You know what I'm saying? So for those young ladies out here who are single, young, fancy free, never been married, take a long look at that and make good decisions, because a lot of times when the first time you don't know what you're doing, you don't know, you know, how to choose a mate or even consider it. We just like, oh, I love him and go ahead on. Love is not gonna pay them bills. Love is not gonna help you in a bad situation.
Right.
Love is not gonna get you out of jail. Love is not gonna get you in jail. Love, not, you know what I'm saying? Love is great, and you want to love the man you with, but it's a whole lot more to it than that. So, ladies, choose someone who is, she said, God fearing, but a man of God, a true man of God. There's a lot of people who are God fearing, but yet they're not a real man of God. A man of God is going to be a man of substance, somebody who is going to do what he says he's going to do. And not only because you want him to, but because he wants to please God.
Yeah.
And that's a different type of man. Yeah. A man who is honorable, a man you could count on, a man who's going to be there for his children, a man who's going to be there for his wife. Okay. And if you don't have a man like that, then how are you surprised when he cheats on you? How are you surprised when he doesn't pay the bills, or he gambles the money off, or drinks it off, or smokes it off, or whatever? How are you surprised? He's not a man of God, so why would he have that type of integrity? You see what I'm saying? Right. For young ladies, I want you not only to pick a man that you think you're attracted to, that's fine, but looks aren't everything either. Because there's some men who are just average looking, not ugly. I ain't talking about you got to settle for somebody ugly. But a lot of times these young girls, they pass off a really good mate that would have treated them like a queen, but some little dude that, oh, he's so cute. Right. Girl, cute and $1 won't even get you a cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? So all this little he cute stuff and he did good, that's fine. You can get somebody who's cute or handsome that treats you well, just like you can get an ugly one. But don't pass over a man who's average looking, hardworking, honest, and honorable for some old fancy pants, good looking dude that got so many women that he don't know what to do with, and you trying to always fight for position. You want to be the queen, then get you a man who looking for a queen and sit on that throne and let him take care of you and handle the business. Forget standing in line waiting on cutie pie so-and-so, because guess what? Cutie pie so-and-so ain't going nowhere. He going nowhere fast, and you don't want to jump on that train. It's plenty of trains running, ladies. You like the one that you jump on, it ain't going where you want to go. Get off on that stop, pull that thing, and get off. And hold on. Guess what? Stand right there and get on another one. Okay. I'm trying to tell you, I'm not trying to say be out there and be promiscuous. I'm talking about get off the train if it ain't going where you want it to go. Exactly. Yep. So, ladies, love and marriage is a choice. And you can choose a good one just like you can choose a bad one. But when you see the signs, ladies, when you see the signs, run then.
Yeah, please.
Don't wait. You see an abusive thing, somebody at the restaurant, they acting a fool, turning tables over, cursing our waitresses. Do you think you ain't next?
Right. Gots to go.
You gotta go right then. No, oh, well, you know what? If she wouldn't have upset him, okay, don't nobody be that upset.
Right.
To they flipping over tables, cursing out waitresses.
Right.
That's a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sign that you need to see.
A red flag.
Yeah.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen too, men, you know, you're choosing a wife, choosing a husband.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure you make good choices. I'm gonna give you final words because this was so good. It was very meaty. You know what I mean? So I want Margot to give final words and just encouragement to single people, not just single ladies, but we were talking about single ladies because we're three black girls talking. So we was talking to the single ladies, but we're talking about single everybody. And Margot's just gonna give final words, and we gonna go. That sound good to y'all?
Yep.
Go ahead, Margot.
I just want to say, be who you want to be. If you want to be single, be that way. Don't let anybody intimidate you into any relationship. You want to find the perfect relationship if you want to be in it, you know, and it may take time to do that. I have my perfect relationship. I'm so happy with this guy that I'm with, but he's not my husband. And it's okay. And I feel good and he feels good. And it's okay, you know, not to have that certificate of marriage at this time. When you're ready for it, go on and do that. But if you're not, don't let anybody intimidate you into getting married for their sake. You do it for your sake. So that's it.
Rochelle?
Oh, my final words is, you know what? Just follow your heart, but make sure you think with your brain. And if you see any red flags, to don't make any excuses, because a man can make up their own excuses. You never have to make up an excuse for a man or a woman. So just make sure you listen to your heart, and make sure you look at them red flags. And when you see them signs, don't say, oh, well, maybe he was just mad that time. Oh, no, that's a red flag, and start making mental notes of it. Mm-hmm. And then if it becomes habitual, get the step in. Yeah. What you got, Edwonda?
My final words is, everybody always focuses on what they want in a relationship, but I think it's more important to know what you don't want. Right. And your bottom line of, I'm not going to be a man who does this. I'm not going to be with a man who does that. And put your bottom line, and don't break your rules. And say a man would never put his hands on me, not even once. Or I don't want a man who is an alcoholic. And don't break those. And if you do that, I think you'll be fine. Someone who's compatible, who is kind to you, and who treats you with respect. So we talked about love and marriage. We wish you well in your relationships, whatever you choose. Single ladies, hang in there. Do you have fun? Be careful. And we are three black girls talking. And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Oh.
Three black girls talking. Three black girls talking.